I wanted to talk about early season bow hunting hotspot and how you set that up. And this could be, we're going to give you a private land example, but this could be on public land as well. And you need a few ingredients to make this happen. First, you have a deerless approach. We're coming into this area. You can see where the truck's at back there. Coming into a lane, we don't have any deer that are bedding here. We're not walking through bedding areas, and so that's critical. You know, maybe I can think of some southwest facing slopes that had some good white oak acorns on that were great for early season in southern Ohio down on state land. Might be that perfect spot. But you're walking into that spot undetected through non-bedding area, and that's critical. You don't expect deer to be bedded away from their food source very far. And why that's important in this location is whether you're hunting an early season hotspot on public land or private land, once we get back to here, then our early season hunting spot is right here. So we're looking at right down in here. It's not all this corn here. It's this little green spot that'll be a pass through for deer that are coming out to the ag fields. So that's number two. We can get into this spot fairly non-invasively. We have a nice green plot to hunt right here. This could be a stand of white oak. It could be a really nice white oak with dropping white oak acorns. Could be an apple tree on public land. We're walking through non-bedding area. And then we're climbing into a spot like this. Now, the next thing too is we want to be able to get up and down and get into a stand location without spooking deer. And so this right here, you can see this wall of brush. Right here in front of Dylan, this is all screening all the way through here. So this screening, even though we planted late, will still be 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall, 7 feet tall. It doesn't really matter. If it's this height and you look at this brush pile, the deer can't get close to the stand. We'll have some skirting around there that'll help hide us even more. We have the big trunk next to us, the brush in the back, so we'll be fully hidden. We can get up and down without spooking deer. They literally have to be right in front of us, and we have to be very loud and move very fast in order to spook deer that are right behind Dylan. So we have good approach through non-bedding. We have screening before the food source. We can get in and out of the stand without spooking deer. And then we have that pass-through food source. And what I mean by pass-through food source is that this is not the end-all, be-all food source of the whole afternoon, evening. You know, again, deer want to get to their preferred food source after dark somewhere. We want to hold them in a plot like this. We have the corn, that's good more for mid-November, late November, and beyond. You know, on public land, that might be a clear-cut area where you have hardwood regeneration. Might be a swamp edge where you have diversity of cover and habitat, and it's holding deer because of the diversity of food all the way into the winter months. You know, deer have to have that hardwood regeneration, woody shrub tips, acorns, whatever it might be, that daytime browse, which they do all the way back here, not very far off this field. So when they come through this field, we expect them to hit a little pocket like this and head right out to the ag. Out in the ag, they have alfalfa, they have beans and distant beans, and then they have corn. So they have everything they need out there. That's where they end up. Deer like to feed in big, open, social areas. On public land, down a lot of state land, federal land, that's big, open hardwoods where they can feed on acorns, limited browse, but it's safe and social. That's why a lot of times they're out there in those big open areas at night. You see a bed on a fence row in an ag field and you think, boy, that's a great spot for them to bed, but it's dark, it's nighttime. They're out there in the middle of the night because it's safe and social. So we have all the ingredients set up right here for a great hunt. And part of that's our access through non-bedding. We have screened access into a stand location. The food source is screened. We can get up in the stand and then look down into it. This corn's gonna be a lot taller. The screening on the outside will actually be shooting over it to see down in here. Those deer are close, but we don't have to spook them. But most of all, this represents a pass-through small food source on the way to something else. Now you can imagine late season, we'll love hunting over this corn. We'll be right back to today's video, but guys, thank you so much. We launched our seed company about 3 weeks ago and the success has been overwhelming. We've currently had orders from 36 states. We planted our food plot seed because Dylan and I wanted to get one plot in here quick. We're planting the rest August 12th and 13th. But it's so awesome to look down and see our little tiny brassica plants coming in on this side. We have buckwheat, tillage radish, peas on the other side. This has been a huge success for us, but most of all, guys, thank you so much. I know the seed is really high priced this year. We will drastically reduce that for next year. I urge you to check it out on our site. We have the Big Boost brassica, our fall power greens. We have limited supplies. We appreciate your business. Thank you so much for watching. Now back to the video. Maybe muzzleloader or bow as they're passing through here. We've even added a mock scrape. You can see right over here. So we want them to come out, hit the mock scrape, come through here and go out to the ag. What that does is it offers a very defined source of travel. We're hunting a small movement, which is perfect for bow. They're just coming through, hitting the mock scrape, hitting the small food source, and they're out to the neighbor's ag. And that's perfect because what that allows us to do, because this is a small movement, then we can get in and out of the stand location when we see the coast is clear and we don't have to worry about spooking any deer. You see a bee?
Stepped on an ant nest and they're biting my feet.
Oh my gosh, Dylan, that's a huge ant nest. Here, look at that, film that. Wow, and they were getting up into you?
Oh yeah, well I'm wearing Crocs, which probably aren't the smartest, so yeah, they're biting my toes right now, but that's
Jeez, right. They are not happy. Well, anyways, back to the video. Really good though in this location because of that definition of movement for the deer. We can get out of that stand location, not spook deer, and that means we live to hunt another day. We're not spooking anything. Always ask yourself when you hunt, whether it's a morning hunt or an afternoon hunt, when you get back in, you're talking with your hunting buddies, people that hunt the land with you, or just having a conversation, good old conversation with yourself. It's not about necessarily how many deer you saw, it's how many did you spook. Because if you're not spooking deer consistently when you hunt, you're doing a lot right, and that means you'll hone in to where those deer are at. You're not spooking them, they're continuing those movements, something like this, and you'll be able to have a great hunt for years to come. So look at this area right here. Try to match it, whether it's at home on a private piece that you have, just a small pass through like this. We have non-deer access. We can blow our scent that way, not get into deer. We can get in and out of the stand without spooking. Our food source is screened. You might be looking down over brush or shrubs. I always look at, like if you're hunting an oak top, for example, hunt on the edge where you get some bushes or some hard regeneration. Use the hill to get in and out of your stand so you're not spooking deer. But you can get in and out without spooking deer and hunt a safe movement of deer. And we're gonna get going now. I see those ants are going crazy right there. It's kind of funny, I'm getting paranoid. I'm looking around when you start feeling like you're getting eaten on your legs. I'm not, I don't think, but let's move along like we can expect the deer to do during the hunting season, and for making sure that we don't spook deer. That's the number one, really, name of the game is not spooking deer when you hunt, and it's so critical when you come into these hunting in these food sources, because if we spook deer here, then that has a ripple effect extending into the woods for 200-300 yards. And you can even expect on public land with big open woods that it extends into the woods even further. That's why sometimes an entire area that's 400, 500, 600 yards wide can dry up because you had one intrusion on a major food source. So you're better off hunting on the side, finding these small spots and enjoying the hunt and getting a lot of hunts out of a good approach, good stand location. And you can bet you're just chipping away that you'll find success in a big way. Even though you're chipping away in small little bites, you'll find big success as you move throughout the season. And success is almost assured when you just chip away in a big way later in the season, or maybe that first sit like the early season. This is not a late season spot other than hunting the corn. This is a great pass through in the early season. We'll let that camera on that scrape tell us what's around here. We'll enjoy the hunt. We'll see what's here. We can't wait to bring it to you this fall. Folks, I want to make sure you check out my web class video series, whether it's how to design your food plot program or how to design your property in general. And we have a new one coming out that'll be how to hunt the rut. But these bucks back here are a testament. Some of these bucks go back to 93. They're even in different states. I urge you to check out those web classes so that you can help yourself, help your land, help your hunt. The link is in the description. And also for those that have tried them out, I encourage you to offer some feedback in the comments below. Thank you.